why doesn't our emotional brain follow our instructions like our logical brain? When you tell your finger to touch your nose, it cooperates. Anything you ask for your body to do, get up, sit down, it cooperates. How come when you tell your emotional brain, relax, be calm, be confident, make the call, it doesn't cooperate? Well, it's important to understand that there's a different set of rules that we use for our emotional brain versus our logical brain. Let me give you some examples. Let's assume a car. If you want your car to be in mint condition, then you got to park it in a garage. If you do the same thing with your body and don't use it, it's going to get very sick. You need to do the opposite. You need to beat it up and take it to the gym in order for it to be healthy. Similarly, in other areas, the way your logical brain and the way your emotional brain work, it's a total different set of rules. And you need to learn the difference when you apply the rule A and when you apply rule B. Let me give you an analogy so you see the difference between your logical brain and your emotional brain. And this will be extremely helpful. Imagine I take a road plate. A road plate is what they covered the roads with if they do construction. They make a big hole and they cover it with these plates at night so cars could drive over it. And I took this big road plank. Let's imagine it's 10 feet by 5 feet, a solid piece of metal, and I put it down on the sidewalk. And I ask you, are you willing to stand on it? You say, willing to stand on it? That's what I do all day. And you stand on it and you practice, and I say, are you comfortable standing on that road plate? You say, I was comfortable before I even started. And I say, no problem. I'm just going to change one variable. I'm going to stick it out of the 80th floor of the Empire State Building over 33rd Street into the building across the street. Would you be comfortable to stand on it now? And you're going to say, no. And I'm going to ask, why not? You just practiced till now. So you might respond and say, it might fall down. And I'm going to respond with logic and say, I'm going to bring the best engineering team that built the bridges and the tunnels and the houses all around you, and they're going to substantiate it's totally safe. Are you going to be willing to stand on it now? And most likely the answer is still going to be no. So I'll ask you why not. And you might say, I might not feel well. So I'm going to bring the best medical team in your area, and they're going to substantiate you totally healthy and fine. No problem. Will you walk across now? Most likely not. And you might say because there might be bad weather. So I'm going to bring the best weather team and meteorologist in your area to substantiate that you're totally fine and okay. You're still not going to do it. Why not? Because even though logically I could spend the next 2 hours with you and fully make it logically as safe as it was down on the floor, you're still not going to do it. And the reason has nothing to do with logic. The reason is your emotional brain kicks in. There's something deeper than logic that controls our emotional brain, and that's called imagination. When you step out there and you say, Ben, what are those little dots on the floor? And I say, oh, I think those are buses. And you say, what are those smaller ones? And I say, oh, those are cars. And you say, what are those teeny little specks? And I say, those are people. And in your mind's eye, you see a little red dot on the floor. That's you after you fell. And all logic goes out the window. So logic and emotions are total different operations. Your imagination controls your emotions. And you need to learn how to manage it. How to be able to take control of that area of your life. Having good visualizations, having good imaginations helps you harness the power of your emotional mind. And that's what you need to control how you feel and to create the positive emotions that you need to create the life that you desire and we both know you deserve.